Hey everybody, it's Ruben Lowing here in McAllen, Texas. I had a little letdown after G21. I had a really hard time getting people to, pay for $5 to register for that Friday. And then I learned about Cash App, and then I got like 9. Okay, people weren't feeling comfortable giving their credit card information over the phone, and I don't blame them, right? But they'd send me $5 Cash App, let me do it. But then none of them tuned into it. All right, and and that was frustrating. I went for a trip. I went to Michigan. Well, first I went to Indiana. Oh, this is something. So when I first started with the company, I started practicing the 7-step. So I got a friend of mine, been a friend for a long time, and he knew me like right when I was about to hit the bottom, and he'd had a low point in his life too, and built himself out of it, and we kept in touch, and so he calls me one day. Well, I hooked him up with a friend of mine that had a movie screenplay. Guy was an intel officer in the Navy, became an analyst for the FBI, and he had this cloak and dagger story. So I connected two of them, because the guy, my other friend, had a background with production, gotten success from getting a couple shows produced. And they called me up, and they got it done, right? So then this guy that wrote the screenplay was part of the Voc Rehab training center that they put in Point Loma, California. Used to be the old Marine Corps annex. And, well, they decided they want to do the same thing in Texas, and they found this facility, this fracking company, that because of the climate, literally, right? They they went from making like $100 million a week to nothing. So they had to liquidate a bunch of the assets they had, and they had this huge building. They wanted $12 million for this building. And they agreed to sublet it for this Voc Rehab Center. And they call me up. The guy calls me up and he's like, dude, we need $4.3 million in a grant. Well, I knew somebody that, another ex-Navy SEAL, that wrote grants for anybody doing anything for veterans. So I connected him. So Friday, I'm going up to Indiana, and they call me up, and they got their money, and it's gonna happen. And they calls me back up all excited. They want me to be in charge of the health, nutrition, fitness training for these veterans. And because I've learned from my own situation, there's a direct correlation between diet and mental health, and exercise and confidence, and learned a long time ago with Roy Jones Sr., if you draw out all these areas of your life, your job and your faith and your relationships, and if they're out of balance, like a wheel with uneven spokes, right? It's kind of bumpy. and so when you get your diet and nutrition together, and it affects your physical health and your mental health, and then you get your physical health, start doing some exercise, getting your heart going, all right? It does a lot for your confidence, which does a lot for your ability in business, negotiating, sales, all right? Same thing with your faith, right? When people know you got it together, when you're legitimate with your faith, that goes a long ways, right? They have a hard time doubting your integrity, right? And so they want me to move to Houston, Texas. The middle of September. But then they want me to do, once I get that program up and growing, and they want me to do the same thing down here in the Rio Grande Valley, which is interesting. I would do that in a minute. So anyhow, but it's all because I practiced. This guy's a millionaire, right? Had no idea until I did the 7-step with him. And then he's like, wow, if I'd have known that 10 years ago, I'd have $4 million now instead of $2 million. And that's something. It goes to show, I had a lot of people that weren't of this guy's status, dissing me. It was hard to take, man. People telling you, why would I listen to somebody who doesn't have the fruit on the tree? I tell you what, they got me busy getting my plan together. Now I would just say, hey, listen, I got my plan. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. I don't take that no more. You get people that are like, they want to do real estate investing, or they want to do cryptocurrency investing, right? Well, that's fine. But you know what you're doing? Are you aware of capital gains? Do you know of a strategy to help you get out of paying more than you need to in capital gains and taxes? Well, that's what we do. You really should be talking to me. You should be learning this stuff, right? It'll help you in that area too. Anyways, having somebody that looks at you as a subject matter expert in an area, gives you credibility, not just with other people, but yourself. All right, and that's why, being congruent, doing what you do, it makes a difference. All right, have a great day.